Picture this. It's 1954, and West Germany has just pulled off the impossible. We're talking the legendary Miracle of Bern against a team that literally hadn't lost a single match in 4 years. I mean, you can practically hear the crackle of the radio broadcast, right? The announcer absolutely losing his mind, yelling, "A fabulous strike, ferociously strike, yeah, boy!" It was an incredible era defined by playing in the mud with just pure, raw heart. But fast forward to the 2026 World Cup, and we're stepping into a completely different universe. Today, AI and advanced biometrics are practically working overtime to ensure miracles like that are mathematically impossible. So welcome to our explainer, where we're going head-to-head, pitting the gritty romance of 1954 against the highly engineered, data-obsessed spectacle of today. Okay, let's dive right into this. The big, overarching question we need to answer today is this. Can a genuine, jaw-dropping miracle still happen when artificial intelligence is trying its absolute hardest to stop it? We're looking at whether the unpredictable, beating heart of the sport can actually survive an era governed by, well, billions of data points. It's kind of like a massive collision, right? The romance of the past slamming right into the clinical precision of the modern game.
To really wrap our heads around what's at stake here, we got to look at the sheer scale of the mountain West Germany had to climb back then. 27. That is the totally absurd number of goals Hungary's magnificent Magyars scored in just 5 games leading up to the 1954 final. 5 games. They were an absolute offensive juggernaut. Remember, they hadn't lost a single match in 4 whole years. They were the heaviest of heavy favorites, pretty much striking absolute terror into everyone they played.
And honestly, that perfectly sets the stage for that legendary final. On one side, you had Hungary, this invincible machine, heavily favored, and boom, they quickly go up 2-0. And actually, keep in mind, West Germany had already been completely crushed by them 8-3 earlier in the group stages. But then, you have the Germans in the final. They're playing in the pouring rain, slipping around in the mud, relying on literally nothing but raw heart and just desperate grit. And they clawed their way all the way back from that 2-goal deficit to win 3-2 against all odds. That right there, that is the pure essence of the Miracle of Bern.
So why are we talking about a game from 1954 right now? Because that miracle set the ultimate baseline for what makes this the beautiful game. Like this quote perfectly captures, the technology changes, sure, but the chaos doesn't. The unpredictable human drama proves that the World Cup is won on the pitch, not the spreadsheet. It's that sheer unpredictability, the raw emotion, the grit, that's what actually captures the imagination of the entire world.
All right, now let's fast forward to our modern reality, because the 2026 tournament is a radically different beast. We are talking about a massively expanded tournament. 48 teams and exactly 1,248 players descending on North America. It is no longer just a sporting event, guys. It's a meticulously engineered, massive global industry where literally every single detail is scrutinized to the absolute max. Now, what's really interesting about this is that today we have officially entered the age of algorithms. Gone are the days of just lacing up your boots, stepping into the mud, and hoping for the best. Nope. Now we're looking at advanced analytics, real-time biometric tracking, and AI-assisted scouting. Analysts are crunching billions of data points on those 1,248 players before the tournament even kicks off. And the whole objective here, to mathematically eliminate chaos. They want to make the unpredictable totally predictable.
And how do they do it? Through incredibly specific clinical metrics. Analysts map out pressing intensity to control space. They design intricate passing networks to optimize how the ball moves, and they are monitoring sprint frequencies down to the millisecond. They even optimize recovery cycles to make sure athletes are at peak superhuman physical performance. For a modern team, take Germany for example, fighting hard to reclaim their elite status today, the urgency is all about finding that exact clinical edge. They are using cold, hard science to try and engineer the exact type of success that their predecessors won with pure, uncalculated grit back in the 50s.
And hey, it's not just the players on the pitch that are highly optimized, it's the entire global event. 2026 is a high-tech spectacle designed to captivate billions of us across the globe. The sheer volume of money, broadcast technology, and corporate backing poured into this thing is honestly unprecedented. Every single angle, both on and off the grass, is a meticulously calculated product.
But amidst all this intense engineering, we kind of have to ask ourselves what might be lost along the way.
Think about the legendary 1970 Brazil squad. They're often cited as the most beautiful team in football history, right? They played with this remarkable, raw, creative freedom and flair that absolutely mesmerized fans. Compare that to the 2026 analytics approach, which is entirely about total system optimization. Modern analysts will proudly tell you, and they're right, that the athletes in 2026 are physically superior in every measurable way to that 1970 Brazil team. I mean, they run faster, they recover quicker, and their systems are virtually flawless.
So the crucial point here is exactly this. Beauty and efficiency are not always the same thing. Yes, for sure, the 2026 teams might be physically superior. Yes, their pressing networks and recovery cycles might be flawless. But clinical efficiency does not guarantee the magic of the past. You can optimize a player's physical output all day long, but you simply cannot program creative genius. And you definitely cannot engineer a desperate, muddy scramble for a game-winning goal. Which brings us to, honestly, the most exciting part of this entire explainer. Despite nearly a century of technological advancement, despite the AI, the crazy biometric tracking, and the billions of data points, the sport's greatest moments still stem from enduring chaos. Because at the end of the day, you still can't control everything. A referee misses something in a split second. A heavy favorite suddenly collapses under the crushing weight of a nation's expectations. An underdog shocks the world. The tech evolves, but the chaos is forever. Nobody ever sees the true miracles coming.
And that leads us to this really comforting realization. It's all an illusion of control. You can have literally all the data scientists in the world sitting right there on your bench, but the game is still won on the pitch. No matter if biometric tracking can engineer away the raw, unpredictable human drama that defined the miracle of Bern back in 1944. The heart, the crushing pressure, that sudden stroke of incredible luck, these purely human elements will always, always defy the spreadsheet. So, as we gear up for the biggest sporting event on Earth, I want to leave you with this final thought. With 1,248 players and billions of data points trying to mathematically control every single outcome in 2026, where will the next beautiful miracle come from? Will the algorithms actually predict it, or will human hearts surprise us all over again? Keep that in mind as you watch the action unfold. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I absolutely cannot wait to see what happens on the pitch.